Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and it is 3:30 in the morning right now. It is too hot for me to even think still. We're going through a heat wave in BC. It is brutal. We broke a record today where I'm at for like ever. It's pretty hot. And my AC is blowing hot air. It's just gloriously horrible. So I wish everybody like a comfy and cozy cold day tomorrow. So today we're just going to be talking about the crafting event right now, and I just want to kind of get a picture for all players of what you should be doing with this. I know I've done a video on this already, but there's so many new players to this game, and I figure why not clear it up. So I farmed 11k points 2 days ago, I think. And remember, you have a long time. You have until the 4th of whatever the 8th month is. July, August. I'm getting better. So you don't need to decide until then. So let's go through a couple options here. I think there are really two main options you should be looking at. One of them being speed, which is what I really recommend, and the other being immunity, which I don't recommend as much. I think immunity is a lot less valuable than just having a way better speed piece. Alternatively, if you're somebody really just trying to get one good piece of gear, one good set going, for example, like let's say you have a 3-piece destruction set and you're missing one piece to just be fantastic, maybe I would do that, but I still would really lean towards speed. I'm personally going with speed. So once you select that, you then get to choose a slot, weapon, helm, armor, neck, ring, boots, and I personally prefer ring or necklace. The reason being, you already have your main stat locked in, right? Like you have your attack percent for a ring, and then you can do a bunch of offensive subs, and you have a pretty solid piece of gear. Whereas it just doesn't feel like that on the other 3 pieces. Like it feels like you can roll low and kind of ruin it, where with 4 good substats, it's pretty hard to ruin the piece of gear. I also don't like speed boots as much because I think they're what a lot of people craft, and I feel like they're easier to get. So I really personally recommend ring or necklace, and I do recommend offensive instead of defensive pieces. And the reason why I recommend offensive is, let's take a look at a ring I just got recently. So we have this ring here, right? This is speed, crit damage, crit chance, the 3 subs we definitely want with an offensive ring, and then health as the flex pick. So if this rolls all HP, you've got a pretty fantastic ring still. If it rolls a mix, you've got a really good ring. Basically, whatever you roll, it's going to be solid, right? Whereas if you roll a defensive ring, let's sort by set speed and then main stat HP. So you're going to be wanting speed, you're going to be wanting effect resistance, you're going to be wanting defense, and then the 4th slot is kind of elastic, right? Like maybe you want effectiveness here, maybe you want, I don't know, a little bit more flat defense or something like that. But the thing is, a lot of defensive pieces of gear just kind of roll or need to roll in very specific pieces. So even if you have the best substats, you might have subpar rolls, and it just like doesn't work out as many of the times, is my general reason. I'm trying to show examples, but all my gear is just crit rate, crit damage. So so yeah, a piece like this is a pretty good example. So a piece like this, if I had just rolled like a bunch of effectiveness and defense, maybe this is not a very good piece if that happens. So I really recommend attack percent or crit damage neck. So I'm personally going to be going with a ring, since I feel like those are my the pieces I have the least with in terms of speed for substats. We're going to be selecting attack percent main stat here, and then from here we get to re-roll the substats. So for a DPS piece of gear, you're really looking for the quad rolls of crit chance, crit damage, speed, and attack. Those are your main substats you really want. So if you have a crit damage necklace, you really want attack percent, crit chance, and speed as your subs. Not want, you need. There's no reason not to get them at this point. And then for both the ring and the neck, you do have a flex pick, and that flex pick is either going to be defense percent HP percent or flat attack IMO, you could potentially do effectiveness. But again, let's say you have an attack percent ring and you just roll all effectiveness, you're not really in a good spot. It's not a piece of gear you're super interested in. But if you roll all flat attack, it is still potentially good. If you roll all HP percent or defense percent, it's still a good ring. Not as good as it would be, but it's still usable and great. And again, the same goes with crit damage and attack. Just swap out which stat I'm going for. So the next thing you need to consider are the substat ranges. So for crit chance here, there are 3% to 5% for the roll ranges. For defense, HP, effectiveness, effect resistance, and I think that's all of them, it is 4% to 8%. For crit damage, it is 4% to 7%. And for attack as well, it's 4 to 8%. And then for speed, it's technically 1 to 5, but in any sort of real position, it's 2 to 4, because 1 and 5 are such rare occurrences that they're just not going to happen. And also flat attack, flat HP, I don't really know what those are, to be honest. Most people can't tell offhand, but those aren't the high rolls you're looking for. So basically, you want to just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. And this one here, for example, we've got 4 speed, which I consider max for a substat, even though it isn't. But we only have 4% HP and 4% effectiveness. This means we only rolled half of what it could be. So, for example, this ring right here, I could roll 4% at +3 and 4% at +6, and it would be the exact same as I could have gotten at +0. So that's super something you do not want to, you don't want to settle for. You're really, really, really going for really high rolls. That's all that matters. And you have a month to do this. So there is no reason to rush whatsoever. No reason to rush. And I want to show you, hopefully we got a couple examples here of what I would not take. And okay, this one's not bad, but obviously we're not going to take it. We have flat HP instead of speed here, but we do have a max roll crit chance and a max roll crit damage, which is really nice. But again, there is zero reason to take this piece because you have so many rolls, right? And another thing I want to mention is you really want to try to get like as high as, especially crit chance. I feel like crit chance getting 3% just feels really, really bad. I really try to get that to 4 to 5, and speed I kind of want to sit at 4 as well. Assuming this piece was like 5 crit chance, 7 crit damage, 8 speed, or 8 effectiveness, and 4 speed, I still wouldn't just automatically take this because there are replacements for effectiveness that I would personally rather have. So with a month left, there's just no reason. And I really want to, I'm really trying to emphasize this because I cannot tell you how many PMs I got during the last event asking or showing me how their piece rolled, and I'm just like, why in the world would you take that? You know, you're getting the chance to actually make a piece of gear, to basically craft a piece of gear, and that's what you chose. Just shoot for the moon is what I'm trying to say here. And I would show you all of these, but it's gonna take so long, so I don't really know what else to say here. But for an example here, this would be a really good defensive piece. Let's say this was HP percent here. If we had speed, defense, effectiveness, and attack down here, assuming they were high rolls, that would be something that would be pretty great. I do think attack percent is another decent opportunity for substats as well, because you can have HP percent main and use somebody like a Carrot, and they're going to love the attack percent, they're going to love the speed, they're going to love the defense, and they're going to be okay with the effectiveness, right? But again, I really, really, really do recommend you stick to the offensive pieces. And this is another decent piece, but I still would not take it. You're 1 down speed, you're 2 down crit damage, and you're 3 down defense. So you're basically down a roll right off the bat, as opposed to getting a piece with full rolls. And of course, if the event ends and that's what you get, that's okay. You know, you tried your best. So yeah, that's all I kind of wanted to talk about today. I'm going to go curl up in a ball inside of a fan or beside a fan, and let me know what you get, and I'm going to keep rolling and hope I get something good. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.